Why did Abraha hate the Kaaba so much that he marched with an army of 60,000 to attack it? The reason was that the Kaaba had become the most sacred place for the entire Arabian Peninsula. People from all over Arabia used to come to Makkah for worship, because of which some people of Makkah were earning a lot of money. This made Abraha very angry that these poor people of Makkah, who had neither a king nor a government, had still become the center of the whole of Arabia. Before the attack, he built a very large church in Sana'a, the capital of his kingdom Yemen, so that people would abandon the Kaaba and come to his church instead. But this project completely failed, after which Abraha was left with only one option: somehow destroy the Kaaba. Abraha was not born in the house of any king. Rather, he was a slave of a small businessman from a small city of the Roman Empire. The real issue was that a war had been going on for a long time between Yemen and Abyssinia, because Yemen was dominated by Jews, while Abyssinia was inhabited entirely by Christians. So what happened was that first the Jews attacked and caused great destruction in the Christian areas. Because of this, the superpower of that time, the Roman Empire, became very angry. At that time, Christians themselves were the superpower. So the Roman Empire helped its Christian brothers in Abyssinia and permanently ended the Jewish rule in Yemen. For this task, they sent one of their own slaves, whose name was Abraha. He went with an army of 100,000 and wreaked havoc on the Jews. After this victory, Abraha became very powerful and separated Yemen from his own country, Abyssinia. The king of Abyssinia became very angry over this and sent another army. But this time, the new army sent against Abraha killed its own general and presented him before Abraha, then joined Abraha's army. After this, Abraha became the most powerful king of the entire Arabian Peninsula, and his influence spread throughout Arabia. Except for one thing. Every year, thousands of people from all over Arabia used to go to Makkah for the circumambulation of the Kaaba. Abraha thought, what is so special about this? We can build one too. So he built a magnificent church in his capital, which he filled with diamonds and jewels from all over the world. This building was the most beautiful and luxurious structure in all of Arabia. The Arabs had never seen anything like it before, but still no one came there for worship, and everyone continued to go toward the old Kaaba. After spending so much money and effort, when Abraha still failed, he was left with only one option. He gathered an army of 60,000 people and marched to attack the Kaaba. Up to this point, the story we have told is not only mentioned in Islamic sources, but is also written in history, taken from ancient Arabic inscriptions. In all of these, Abraha is described as a very great king, but there is no mention of his journey to Makkah. However, in recent findings, some Jewish inscriptions have been discovered, which indicate that he only wanted to destroy the Kaaba so that people would abandon it and turn toward his church. After looting everything on the way, when he reached Makkah, he summoned their chief. Abdul Muttalib came and said, "You have seized some of my camels. Return them to me." Abraha laughed and said, "I thought you were a very brave man, but you are only worried about your camels." Abdul Muttalib replied, "I am only the owner of my camels. The owner of this house knows, and you know, but I will say this much: no one has ever been able to harm this house." The next day, Abraha ordered his army to attack, but his elephant stopped and did not move forward despite many attempts. At that moment, some birds appeared in the sky, each one carrying a stone in its beak. These were birds that no one had ever seen before that day, nor after it. They began targeting and killing the soldiers of Abraha's army. Many historians have described this as an extreme form of smallpox, because as soon as the stones struck their bodies, they would scratch themselves so severely that they tore out their own flesh, to the extent that the bones of some people became visible. In this condition, the army fled back, and Abraha's army of 60,000 was completely destroyed. This victory of the Quraysh spread throughout Arabia, and the Quraysh emerged as the new rulers of Arabia. After this event, millions of people from all over Arabia began coming even more to perform the circumambulation of the Kaaba, and the great annual fair of Ukaz began to be held in Makkah. The wealth of the people of Makkah doubled and tripled and began to soar. But in the same year, suddenly one day, the fire that had been burning for years in the greatest temple of Iran was extinguished, and on that very day an orphan child was born in Makkah, whose name was Muhammad, peace be upon him.